Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Essentials. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah. We're so glad you're joining us today for another episode designed to help beginner English learners improve their listening skills and expand their vocabulary.
That's right, Sarah. And today we're diving into a topic that almost everyone has experience with, no matter where they are in the world and no matter their age. It's something that can bring both excitement and, let's be honest, sometimes a little bit of dread.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Alex. We're going to be talking about homework, and specifically, how to talk about homework in English, using simple and useful phrases for our beginner listeners.
Exactly, homework. Whether you're a student yourself, a parent, or just someone who remembers school days, you've probably encountered homework. So let's start with the very basics, Sarah. What is homework?
Well, simply put, homework is schoolwork that students do at home, outside of the classroom. It's given by teachers to help students practice what they learned in class, or sometimes to prepare for upcoming lessons. It's all about practice and reinforcing knowledge.
That's a perfect explanation. And it's a very common part of daily life for many people. So let's jump right into some key phrases our listeners can use. The most basic one, if you have homework to do, how do you say it?
The simplest way is, I have homework. You can use this for any kind of homework. I have homework tonight. Or, if you have a lot, I have a lot of homework. It's very straightforward.
Great. So I have homework. Let's practice that. I have homework. Now, what if you need to actually do the homework? What phrase would you use there?
You would say, I need to do my homework. Or, if you've already started and you're not finished, I need to finish my homework. For example, I need to finish my math homework before dinner.
That's really helpful. I need to do my homework, or I need to finish my homework. Now let's imagine you're talking to a friend or a classmate, and you want to know what their homework is. How would you ask?
You could ask, what's your homework? Simple and direct. Or, do you have any homework? And if you want to know when they need to hand it in, you can ask, when is your homework due? The word due means the deadline or the date it must be submitted.
Due is a really important word for this topic. So when is it due? For example, my homework is due tomorrow, or it's due next Friday. Very clear.
Absolutely. Now, Alex, homework isn't always just one thing, is it? There are different kinds of homework. Can you tell us about some common types?
Of course. One very common type is reading homework. This is when your teacher asks you to read a book, an article, or a chapter from a textbook. For example, I have reading homework tonight. I need to read chapters 1 and 2.
Oh, I loved reading homework when I was in school, especially if it was a good story. Another common one is writing homework. This could be writing an essay, a story, a report, or even just sentences.
Yes, writing homework can sometimes be a big task. And of course, for many, there's math homework. This usually involves solving problems, calculations, or practicing equations. I remember spending a lot of time on my math homework.
Oh, math homework was always a challenge for me. I preferred project homework. This is when you have to create something like a model, a presentation, or a poster. It's often a bigger assignment that takes more time.
Me too, Sarah. Project homework was usually more fun. It felt less like work and more like creating something. And sometimes, homework isn't just about doing a specific task, but about preparing for something else, like a test.
That's right. You might say, I need to study for a test. That's a kind of homework too, preparing yourself for an exam. So, we've covered having homework, doing homework, asking about it, and different types.
Now let's think about a situation where you're a beginner English learner, and your teacher gives you homework, but you don't understand it. What can you say?
It's perfectly okay to say, I don't understand my homework, or I don't understand this problem. And then, the most important part, ask for help. You can say, can you help me with my homework? Or, can you explain this again?
Those are crucial phrases for any learner. Don't be afraid to use them. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness, especially when you're learning a new language. And speaking of learning, what are some tips you'd give our beginner listeners for handling homework and also for practicing their English when they talk about it?
Great question, Alex. First, always try to use a dictionary for new words you find in your homework. Even if you don't understand everything, picking out key vocabulary can help. Second, if you have a friend who also speaks English, try discussing your homework with them using these new phrases. Practice makes perfect.
That's excellent advice. And remember, break your homework down into smaller parts. If you have a lot of reading homework, don't try to read it all at once. Read a little, take a break, then read some more. This applies to learning English too. Small, consistent steps.
Absolutely. And for our beginner listeners, even just listening to this podcast and repeating some of the phrases out loud is a fantastic way to practice. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on understanding and speaking.
Let's put some of these phrases into a very short example conversation, Sarah. I'll be one person and you be another. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, Sarah, do you have any homework tonight?
Oh yes, Alex. I have a lot of reading homework. It's due tomorrow.
Oh, really? I have math homework. It's a bit difficult. I need to finish it tonight.
Oh no. Do you understand it? Can I help you with your math homework later?
That's very kind of you. Maybe after I finish my reading. That was a great little example, Sarah.
It shows just how easily these phrases fit into everyday conversation. So, to wrap things up, Alex, what are the main takeaways for our listeners today about talking about homework in English?
Well, the biggest thing is to remember those core phrases. Start with I have homework and know how to say I need to do my homework or I need to finish my homework. Those are super practical.
And don't forget to ask. If you want to know what someone else has, use what's your homework or when is it due? And crucially, if you're stuck, can you help me? Is your best friend.
Exactly. Whether it's reading homework, writing homework, or studying for a test, talking about these everyday things in English is fantastic practice. It makes learning practical and relatable.
Yes, using the language in real-life situations, even just talking about school or tasks, is key to building confidence. So don't shy away from talking about your homework.
That's a perfect summary, Sarah. And that's all the time we have for today on English Essentials.
Thank you so much for listening and practicing your English with us. Keep an ear out for homework discussions in your daily life and try to use these phrases.
We'll be back soon with more essential English lessons. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and take care.